Well, hello. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Enriched Lives. I'm Brother Charles, your host. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And by the way, this program is about you. It's not about anybody else but you. Where you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. And again, welcome to Enriched Lives. Well, we love to have very fantastic and interesting topics that we discuss, and the topics that we deal with are the topics that we have in everyday life, something that we all in common with, something that we all have a tendency to have experienced at one particular point in time in life. And tonight, our topic is no more different than any others than we have. They're very fantastic topics. But before we do that, let me say this to you. If today is a special day that you came upon the planet, let me say happy birthday to you. That's right, happy birthday. If this is your special day, happy birthday to you, my friend. Life is so intriguing. Life is so intriguing. Yes, it's a lot of negative things going on, but it's a lot of positive things going on, and you are part of those positive things. Again, welcome to Enriched Lives. Our topic for today that we are going to be discussing is a very interesting topic, and that, my friend, is something that we all experience. And we like to build our discussions on biblical principles that we can build our lives on that will not fade away. Though these principles will last throughout eternity, okay? And so today, what we're going to deal with is positions. That's right, positions. You and I find ourselves in positions, and the only one that puts you in those positions, guess who? Is you. That's right. You're the one that put yourself in those positions, my friend. So tonight we're going to be discussing about two very interesting stories in the Bible, whereas we find an individual in the Old Testament and one in the New. Both of these positions, one is good and one is bad, but they all have something. They all have a lesson in them. So tonight, the topic that we're going to be dealing with is in the Old Testament is going to come out of the book of Genesis, Genesis 39th chapter. It deals with Joseph. Joseph, a young man that finds himself in a precarious position, all because he refused to sin against God. Joseph. And the other one that we're going to be dealing with comes out of Acts 5 in the New Testament, where it deals with two individuals by the name of Ananias and Sapphira. They found themselves in another very precarious position, but it was to their own doing. So let's look at the first one, dealing with Joseph. Here's a young man that was in charge of another man's house. He had everything was at his discretion. He had built up confidence in the man, trusted him. But his wife, she had eyes for him, okay? But the thing that's so intriguing about this particular story is that Joseph does not, notice he does not go against his integrity. He said, I can't sin against God. He went deeper in this conversation, and this he says, I can't sin. If I do this great wickedness, I'll be sinning against God. What he was saying in essence was, listen, my friend, that there are laws in the universe. Well, it doesn't make a difference what you do. It's going to come back to you. It doesn't make any difference. So he refuses to yield to, shall we say, temptation. And guess what? And the lady flips the script on him, and she has him. She tells her husband, next thing you know, he's put in prison. Very, very intriguing story. Get a chance to read that story about Joseph. The thing that's so intriguing about this particular thing is that he did not break away from his integrity. He did not go away from his faith in God. He held on to that, even though he was put in prison. But let's look at something. God has a way of elevating you, my friend. There are no limitations on God. There is nothing that's impossible for God. Okay, so the Creator lets him go through this, but he has a way to get him out. Not only does he get him out of prison, he elevates him to the second highest level in Egypt. He's the number two man in Egypt. The only one that's greater than he is the king. That's very interesting, isn't it? How God took this person by the name of Joseph and elevated him up to a very high position. What can we learn from this particular story? What can we, you and I, as individuals, learn? That Joseph put himself in a position to be elevated. He did not break any of the laws governing with conscience. Conscience. You know, he could have did that and said, "Well, don't nobody know about it but me," but it would have been on his conscience. He wouldn't have known he'd done something wrong. He'd have been looking over his shoulder. So he does not do that. He puts himself in a position where there is no guilt upon his conscience. So, and God elevates him to a higher degree, to a higher level. He's blessed. Why? Because he held on to his integrity. He held on to his principles, my friend. So you and I as individuals have the tendency to understand that we can put ourselves in positions of elevation, or we can put our positions in whereas we fall very low, very low. And now the other story deals with Ananias and Sapphira. these individuals agreed to give part of the money of the land that they sold. They were going to give a certain percentage to their apostles. Well, the only thing about that was that they had to change. They changed their mind. In the middle of the screen, they changed their mind. Very interesting, isn't it? Because here you have some individuals that could have fulfilled their promise, what they said they were going to do, and bad things wouldn't have happened to them. They wouldn't have been in a bad position, but they did not. They held back. They decided, say, look, instead of me giving you a percentage, but I'm going to keep it all for myself. I'm not going. Now, no one forced them to do this. They did this on their own. So what happens? They put themselves in a bad position, my friend. And of course, as you read the story in the 5th chapter, Acts, they didn't lie to the people; they lied to the Spirit. And of course, it said the story says that they both were struck; they fell dead. They fell dead. What a bad position to put yourself in by lying to the Spirit. You can't lie to the Spirit, my family. And still, these two individuals thought that they could get away with it. What can we learn behind these particular stories? Well, actually, you and I, as individuals, we go to work every day. We do things on a daily basis. But you can put yourself in a position to be elevated, or you can put yourself in a position to be downgraded. The individual that shows up at work on time and does his job, does her job, neatly and does it professionally, and they do things in the right way. When time comes for a promotion, or they being watched, they will receive that promotion because they put themselves in position to receive the promotion by their work ethic, by the way that they did their job. Now, on the other hand, the individuals that do not come up to work, show up to work every Monday or something, there is some kind of excuse. I can't come to work, I'm sick today. I can't come to work, I don't feel too good, or something of that nature where I got to go out of town, some of my relatives died, anything of that nature. They end up, my friend, by saying, hey, well, we can let him go because he's not too reliable. We can let them go because they're not too reliable. Why? Because they put themselves in that position to be let go. Notice, my friend, whenever there's something to be done, and if you do what you're told to do, you will put yourself in a position to be elevated. You know, it's very simple. The kid that goes to school and studies and gets his or her lesson out and do their homework, and they make good grades. They make good grades, and at the end of the year, when they get ready to graduate, when they get ready to leave school, they put themselves in position to receive what? Scholarships. They receive scholarships. Now, I'm not saying that the ones that don't receive scholarships are bad or nothing of that nature, but I'm saying you can put yourself in a position to be elevated. That's all I'm saying. You can put yourself in a position to be elevated. And then there's a scripture in the Bible that says the way of the transgressor is hard. What happens to those who transgress the law? Well, they put themselves in a position to be hurt. They put themselves in a position to what? To receive pain and misery and worry. Why? Because they broke a law. And not only did they break a law, but they break laws that deal with the consciousness, the spirit of the mind. They break those laws. And when you do something wrong, my friend, the only way that you can get out from up under the wrongdoing that you've done, the only out is through confession. That's right. You have to confess whatever it is that you've done wrong. If you own it, you can release it. But if you don't own it, if you try to deny it, it becomes a chain around you, my friend. It becomes a weight upon you. It weighs down your conscience. So you and I can put ourselves in position by being true to ourselves. The Greek philosopher Socrates says, know thyself. Know who you are. Take time to understand who you are. It's good to have a personal conversation with yourself. Know some things that you're just not going to tolerate. There are some people that tolerate a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing. Why? Because they don't even have an identity as to who they are. Know thyself. Know what it is that you will tolerate. Know what it is that you will not tolerate. Set the level high for yourself, my friends. Do the work on yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Work on you. Put yourself in a position to be elevated. And when that time comes, you will be rewarded. See, it's left up to you and I as to how we deal with things in life. It's left up to you and I, how we bless ourselves or we curse ourselves. Did you know that you can bless yourself? Did you know that you can curse yourself? Very simple, very easy. How do you bless yourself? Through words, through the words that you use. How do you bless? How do you curse yourself? Through the things that you say about yourself. You're not good enough, you're unworthy, you're a bad person, all that. That's just who I am. No, that's not who you are. That's the identity that you have adopted, but that's not who you are. Deep down inside, my friends, you are somebody. You have potential. But if you fall down to the levels of those who say that, well, they know that they can't do better because I'm not good enough, we can come up with all kinds of excuses as to why we aren't prosper in. But when it's all said and done, it's about the position that you put yourself in. And the position that you put yourself in comes through the decisions and the choices that you've made. That's how you put yourself into a position, through the decisions and the choices that you made. So until next time, my friend, until next time, may you be blessed and may you prosper in the things that you endeavor to do, and may God continue to bless you in your going in and in your coming out. And you, myself, work on putting yourself in a position that you will be proud, that you will be rewarded, because you have the final say so as to the position that you're going to be in. Do wrong, and you are coming to the position of regret and hurt and pain. Do right, you will come into the position of elevation of joy and happiness and rewarded. Thank you again, and may God continue to bless you.